Have you ever just stopped and wondered what secrets are lying hidden right beneath our feet? For centuries, we've told stories about lost artifacts and, these unimaginable riches that have totally captured our imagination. So today, we're going to open the case files on three of history's greatest, most baffling, unsolved treasure mysteries. But before we jump in, let's ask a really simple question. Why do we care so much? What is it about this stuff? Is it just about the money? Or is it something deeper? I think it's that pull of the unknown, right? The idea that a piece of the past is still out there, just waiting for someone to find it. Because that's the real prize here. This isn't just about gold and jewels. These things are real, physical links to our past. They're like lost chapters of history, just waiting to be read again. Oh wait, you ready? Let's dive in. All right, our first case file is an absolute legend. The Amber Room. A treasure so incredible, so magnificent, it was actually once called the eighth wonder of the world. So what was it? I want you to picture a room where the walls weren't painted or wallpapered. They were made from over 6 tons of pure amber, all decorated with gold leaf and precious gems. It was first made in Prussia back in 1701, then gifted to Russia's Peter the Great, and it became the crown jewel of the Catherine Palace. And then, in 1945, poof, it was gone. So how does something like that just disappear? Well, during World War II, Nazi forces looted the room from the palace. They packed it all up in crates and moved it to Königsberg Castle in Germany. But in those final chaotic days of the war, as the city was being bombed to rubble, the Amber Room just vanished from history. Now, a really stunning replica was finished in 2003, but the original? It's still one of the world's most sought-after lost treasures. And the difference between the two is just wow. The original was this priceless, completely irreplaceable work of art. I mean, a true marvel. The replica? It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's also this constant reminder of what was lost. It's a symbol of a mystery that's now been unsolved for over 75 years. So where did it go? The theories are just fascinating. The most likely one, and honestly the most tragic, is that it was simply destroyed in the fires that just tore through Königsberg Castle. But without any real proof, other stories have kind of taken on a life of their own. That it's hidden away in some secret bunker, or maybe it was loaded onto a ship that's now sitting at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. And that's what keeps the hope alive for some miraculous discovery. Okay, from a treasure lost in the chaos of war, we're turning to a mystery that has stumped archaeologists for almost 2,000 years, the final resting place of Alexander the Great. He was one of the most powerful people in all of history. Alexander died in Babylon, but his body was eventually brought to a magnificent tomb in the city that he founded, Alexandria, Egypt. For hundreds of years, it was one of the most famous sites in the entire ancient world. And then it wasn't. Sometime around the 4th century, the records, they just stop. And let's be clear, we are not talking about some forgotten little grave here. This tomb was a major, major deal. A huge pilgrimage destination. Roman emperors, guys like Julius Caesar and Augustus, traveled there just to see it. So how could something that important just vanish? Well, the leading theory is that it's actually still there, just buried deep, deep down beneath the bustling streets of modern Alexandria, lost to earthquakes and a rising water table over the centuries. Others think it was probably destroyed during times of religious or political chaos. And then you have the really fun theories that his body was secretly moved to keep it safe, maybe to Venice or all the way out to the remote Siwa oasis. Okay, for our last case file, we're heading out to sea. We're going to go in search of a legendary shipwreck that was carrying a fortune so big, it is honestly hard to wrap your head around. Just look at this number. Let that sink in for a second. $2.5 billion. That is the estimated value, in today's money, of the treasure that went down with a single ship, the Flor de la Mar. The Flor de la Mar, it means flower of the sea, was this massive Portuguese treasure ship. It was coming back from the conquest of Malacca in 1511. And it was just loaded down with treasure from the Sultanate. We're talking a legendary haul of gold, precious stones, and rare artifacts. It was one of the richest cargoes ever put on a ship. Its final voyage was so short. Just after leaving port, the ship sailed right into a violent storm in the Strait of Malacca. The vessel was literally torn apart by the waves, and it took its unbelievable treasure and almost its entire crew down into the depths, and it's been hidden there for over 500 years. Now, these three cases are incredible, but believe me, they are just the tip of the iceberg. History is absolutely filled with legends of lost fortunes. I mean, you've got the tale of the Lost Dutchman's gold mine, right? This supposedly super rich mine hidden somewhere out in the Arizona desert, and its location just died with the guy who found it. And then there's one of the most famous lost artifacts of all time, the Ark of the Covenant, the biblical chest that was said to hold the Ten Commandments, which just disappeared from Jerusalem over 2,500 years ago. From the Knights Templar's legendary hidden fortune to countless other tales, the map of our world is just dotted with these incredible mysteries, and every single one is like a siren's call to explorers and historians. So this brings us all the way back to that first question we asked. After all these centuries, with the odds so stacked against us, why do we keep looking? I mean, is it just a fool's errand? Or is it possible? Can these incredible pieces of our past actually be found after all this time? Oh, absolutely. And we only need to look at modern discoveries for proof. For decades, the Titanic was a ghost, right? A legend, lost somewhere in the Atlantic. Then, in 1985, our technology finally caught up with our ambition, and the impossible became totally possible. History is always being uncovered. Because at the end of the day, it's not really just about the gold. It's the thrill of the hunt. It's the chance to solve a puzzle that's centuries old, to touch something no one has seen for generations, and to add a brand new, incredible chapter to the story of all of us. The next Titanic, the next Amber Room, it could be hidden under a city street, or sitting at the bottom of the ocean, or locked away in some forgotten document. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets are still out there, just waiting for us to find them?